Okay. No. Okay, right. So we're looking at factorizing and solving quadratic equations. So this particular part here, we are looking at these questions in this middle section here. Okay, now a quadratic equation. Okay, do you know what the format is for a quadratic equation?
Is it that you have work on like either side?
It's ax squared plus
Oh, no, I don't know that.
3x plus c is equal to y. Or we say y equals, it doesn't matter which side you put the y on. So that's the format of a quadratic equation. We normally have an x squared part, an x part, and then a numerical part, and then a y part. Okay, so that's the format. Now, in the questions that we're going to look at today for factorizing quadratic equations, the a value will be 1 constantly. So a will be always 1. And how do we know it's 1? I'll show you how we know it's 1. So if I write down, for example, question number 1, which is over here, under what I've just written down now, you will see how things match up and what is what. Okay, so we've got the x squared element has come through in the question. The x element come through. The c element is there now, and the y element is there. So what's the a element going to be?
1, because if there's nothing, then it's 1.
Yeah, if there's no coefficient written in front of the x squared, it is automatically 1. So the x squared means 1x squared, but we don't write down 1 because we don't need to. It's not necessary, and it looks a bit amateur if you write down 1x squared, but it's not wrong mathematically. So in this particular question, a is 1. So now, when we solve these quadratic equations, this is what we're going to be doing. So let's make this the centerpiece of our screen. I don't know whether I can make it any bigger for you. Okay, let's try. Oh, that's even more better. Okay, so we've got a nice big full screen. If my video on your side, on your screen, is covering any part of the work, move it to a different side. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you can, I can move your video to the bottom, I can move your video to the sides. So move out the way if you need to. So how do we do this question? So this question is to factorize x squared plus 6x plus 5. It will go into this format. It will look like this. Okay, so when you factorize x squared plus 6x plus 5, we're not using the method that we just learned, which is the common factor method. It is a completely different method, completely. So don't confuse this with what we've just been doing, which was common factors. So we are looking for now two numbers. So we're looking for two numbers represented by the rectangle and the triangle. When you multiply these two numbers together, it gives you the c value. When you add these two numbers together, it gives you the b value. So there's times to give you c, and it adds to give you b. And that's as simple as it gets. So now our c value is 5. So let's analyze the 5. So we're looking for 5. What numbers time to give you 5? So that would be 1 and 5, or minus 1 and minus 5. So we have those two variations. So which one of those two, well, they're both time to give you 5. Which one of those two pairs, Layla, give us the plus 6? So here we go, look here.
1 and 5.
So C is equal to plus 5, and B is equal to 6. How do we know B is equal to 6? Because B is right here. Here's B. Here's C. Okay, so you're saying 1 and 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's test it now. Let's test your solution. So let's, 1 times by 5, is it 5?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 add 5, is it 6?
Yeah.
So now that you satisfy those two conditions, so you have found for me the right numbers. So we need to pop those numbers into the gaps.
add. Oh, add 1 and x add 5.
Okay, and so that's part one done. So this here is the factorized answer. So you have to fully factorize it.
Okay.
So this original question has been factorized to give us that. Now there's one other quick step, which is really, really quick. It's not even worth missing. So I will show you that as well. Are you ready for that, Layla?
Yeah.
That's called solving it. Normally the purpose of factorizing a quadratic equation is to solve it. So I'm going to copy that bit down. Now to solve it, you need to make that equation equal to naught. As you can see from the equation, it equals y is naught. Now in order for two numbers, so treat this, for example, as a number, and all of this as a second number. In order for two numbers to multiply to give you naught, either the first one is naught or the second one is naught. Is that correct, Layla? If you got
Yeah.
two numbers times give you 0, either the first one 0, the second one 0, they're both 0. Now,
Yeah.
in order for me to make the first one 0, I only have to do is to inverse the plus 1. So I got x add 1. So what's opposite of add 1?
Take away 1.
Because add 1 and minus 1 gives us 0, 0.
Oh, yeah. Just
Yeah. So what's the opposite of plus 5?
take away 5. Minus 5, sorry.
Okay. So this is now called your solutions. So this is like the next level up from the factorization. These are called the solutions. You have two solutions in this particular question. Okay, now, normally in a question on the higher paper, they will ask you to solve the quadratic equation. So they won't mention this word here, but they will definitely mention the solution, but it implies that. So in order for you to give the solution, you have to factorize it first. So you have that level of question. Are you happy with that first example?
Yeah, I understand it.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Have you done this before?
I think I have. Yeah, I remember it now.
Okay, right. Let's do one more example, then I'm going to let you do some questions. Let's have a go at question number 7. Can you read question number 7 to me, please?
X squared, take away 8, add 12 equals 0.
So x squared, take 8x plus 12 is equal to?
0.
Okay, lovely. Right. So we are looking for two numbers that multiply to give you what number? Whoops, wrong pen.
Two numbers are multiplied to give you.
They're going to multiply to give you what number?
To give you 5. I mean, no, 12. I was
To
going
give
to
you
say 5
12.
for the question.
Okay, and we want the same two numbers. I want them to add to give me what?
To 8.
Are you sure it's 8?
Yeah, 8x. Oh, minus 8.
Yeah, minus 8. Don't forget the minus belongs to 8. So you're looking for two numbers that time to give you plus 12 and add up to give you minus 8. So let's have a look at those possible. What could be the possible numbers? Let's have a look. So 12. So we could have here. Now, in order for them to time to give you a plus number, add up to give you a minus number, they must both be negative. So you got to realize that. So minus 1 times by minus 12 is 12. Minus 2 times by minus 6 is 12. Minus 3 times by minus 4 is 12. And that's an exhaustive list of all the negative factors of 12. So one of them is the right answer, one of those pairs.
Minus 2, minus 6.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we've done the first step, nice and quick time. So we've done x minus 2, x minus 6. And we've shown where we got the answers from there. What's the next step?
Do you solve it? No, you put it into you have to check that it adds up properly.
Well, you can check if you want to. It does add x times by x is x squared. X times by minus 6 is minus 6x. Minus 2 times by x is minus 2x. That gives you minus 8x. Minus 2 times by minus 6 plus 5. It works exactly. So how do we go from that factorized stage to the solution stage? What do we do next?
Do you do the solution? So you have to
make each bracket equal to 0.
Yeah, which so it's +2 for the first one.
And finished.
Oh.
And that's as much as you need to do. So you need to write down the factor pairs. You need to highlight which pair you've chosen, pop them into the brackets, do a quick check mentally if you need to. Then you inverse the signs inside. Opposite of -2 is +2, because +2 add -2 gives you 0. And then you do opposite of -6, which is +6, because the opposite of -6 is +6, and that will give you 0 in the bracket.
Yep.
And you have finished those questions done. So I think what we should do in the last few minutes, I want you to practice some questions. I'll pause the video now for a bit while you practice the questions. So let me pause. All right, so let's have a look. We go back to the coding. So x² -7x plus 10. Two numbers time to give you +10 and add up to give you -7, which is -2 and -5, which I've showed you here in my, my screen. What's happened here? Where's it going quite well? Okay, sorry. So you have that section here. That's my working out. So I chose -2, -5 because they added -7. Yeah. The next one, you're looking for two numbers. The time to give you -12 and add it to give you +1. So I've put all the factors here. At time to give you -12. And the one which has been highlighted adds up to +1, which is -3 and add 4. Layla, not the numbers that you gave me earlier. -3 add 4 gives you +1, which is what we want.
Yeah.
And -3 down by +4 gives you -12. So the solution will be x equals +3 -4.
Okay, now
the last one on that page, which is x² plus 14, x plus 49. Two numbers, time to give you 49, added to give you 14. So 49 is a square number, 7 times by 7 is easy. Other factors are 1 times by 49, which is useless for us. So it's +7, and the opposite of that is -7. We don't need to write down -7 twice. It's called a repeated root. So you only need to write it once. If you write it twice, it won't be wrong, but that's unnecessary. So there's the solution to the questions now. So what I wanted to show you now is what your homework is. So your homework is these questions here. So everything in this middle box, yeah.
Solving. Okay.
Everything in that box there is your homework. From question number 1 to question number 25, every single question, do it again. And do it again in which fashion? In at least the fashion that we just done now. So you need to show your factor pairs. You need to show the sign multiply and add, as I've circled it there for you. So you need to show.
Sorry, was it 1 to 28, did you say?
Yeah, so you got there 1 to 28 in here, this box there, the middle box.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want me to, I'll highlight it for you extra so you don't get confused with what you have to do. So that's your new homework for today. That's the brand new homework for today. And now you need to also go back and you need to complete for me this homework, which is common factors, part 1 and part 2. Okay, so that's also part of your homework. Okay, that's homework as well. And then you need to go back and the questions that you've done over here without any working out, so in this question, you need to go back and show the different steps. So 9 3/2 means the square root of 9 cubed, which is 3 cubed, which is 27. You can fit them all onto one line, that's not a problem, but you need to show the steps. So all these questions here, exercise 16, exercise 17, have to be redone with the full working out. Now, question like question number 26, there's no working out for question number 26 because anything to the power of 0 is 1. So you can write down the question and write down 1 because there's nothing more to do. There's nothing else. But for example, anything that requires a step. So for example here, if you chose this one here, 4 to the power of a half means 4 square rooted, which then gives you, so there's that intermediate showing step that I know what that means. So you've got to show stuff and simplify stuff. So don't jump at answers unless it's a one-step question. Question number 26 is one step, finish. Question, answer, it's acceptable in that circumstance. Number 2 at the top here, this one here, that's a one-step question. Question, answer, it's okay because there's nothing more to do to it. But everything else has steps to it. You got to write it, show the steps, work through the steps, and get to the answer. Okay, and also I want to see part 13 done in its full glorious working out as well. And we done the working out last lesson, it was like that. That's
All I
the,
have to do is send that picture because I did that
yeah,
already.
yeah, that's right. I think the rest of the stuff you already done. The negative numbers are straightforward. It's just basically the negative numbers. They were like basically question answers,
Yeah,
because there's nothing in between. So, but the rest of the stuff you need to do that now. Is that clear now?
yeah. I wrote it down.
Okay, so this is your homework here. It's in the video as well now. It's still being recorded. Haven't stopped the recording. This is in your homework. This is in your homework. And I'll send this file back to, oh, okay, so this is frozen. Oops. Okay. Right, give me a moment while I try to unfreeze this. Okay, let's stop the mirroring. Okay, and let's go back to the mirroring. It's not picking up. Come on. Okay, but you get the idea. Just give me a moment. Let's see if I can get this come back on.
Yeah, I understand anyway.
You just that's what happens when you rely on technology. You die by the technology as well. There we go. Okay, so okay. Oh gosh, I think it's having a spaz. Okay, so you know what the homework is now. You got the
Yeah.
double-sided equations. You got the redo of the indices. You got the factorizing to do those two big sections with the full working out and showing what your highest common factor is and showing all the different splits. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what's. Come on, move. Why you stopped? Okay, no, my screen's not responding on my iPad. Let's put that away. Let's put that back on. Let's see if I can get back into it now. Oh, here we go. So you need to this file will be resent to your dad, and you can reprint that, see exactly how you're supposed to be doing your working out. You do have some answers to check as well. So this section here, common factors, is part of your homework.
Yeah, I'll
Check that, part 1 and part 2, and then you need to do this one here, which is all this block here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Layla. So we've kind of gone slightly over the lesson today by about 10 minutes, but never mind, inshallah. I think we did have a few technical problems with your laptop switching off twice. We lost a bit of time, so that's not a problem. And now, how are you getting on with the Sunday's work? Because at the moment, we've just been talking about your Tuesday's work so far. Sorry, Monday's lesson normally says because the Tuesday's work. I'm going to quickly show you. Where's it gone? Which class is that girl in? Oh, she's in your class. No, she's in that class now. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Now, can you see that?
Yeah.
So this is the homework from the Sunday class that you've been joining. A girl sent it to me. She got 1, 2 little errors in there. That's no problem. She's done the negative numbers question. They've been. I know they're a bit sided, but that's not a problem. I just turn my iPad around. So this is all the questions that you've written out. Okay. Yeah, you could have done them on the sheet. So. Now, do you remember the straight line equations?
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Why isn't Alex 16?
That was part of your homework. She's made some mistakes in the homework, but she's done every single question, and she's missed 1 or 2 questions out here. And then she's done the equations here, and then she's been rearranging stuff here. Give me the m values and the c values, the m values and the c. Well, here you go. Here's all the homework in. Look, here's the book. Everything's been photographed, sent by cam scanner. All the rearrangements been done. So 1 or 2 places she made a mistake. Opposite the -9, she got -9. So she made one or two little errors. But she's done page upon, here you go. Here's your calculate the gradient of the points. I think she's done, here you go. Here's all the working out for the gradients. She's written down the values, written down the questions. She's even drawn it. She's done all the calculations the way I showed in the lesson, the way I showed you in the lesson. She's even color coded it. And mashallah, I think she's got most of those questions right. So I think I've gone through about maybe 10 or 12 pages of work. So that's missing from you as well.
I don't think that I did that because I didn't have, when I said that all the sheets hadn't been printed out, but I'll fix that, that's fine. But I didn't have most of that.
So she's got some mistakes in the work. I'm not saying everything's perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect, but this is the work that's actually due from the Sunday sessions. So I'm still going. I think I've got to the last page now. So I think we have got how many pages? She has given me 26 pages of homework.
No way.
26 pages, and you also owe me those 26 pages as well from the work. So when you say you don't have the pages, I'm just that's the bit that kind of confuses me. Why we got this kind of mismatch of what I'm passing to you, Dan, and what you've got and what you can do, what you can't do.
Because most of the stuff has come out like